Hey chat, how we doing? Hope everybody's doing well this Sunday. Bah! Hello, hello. Got the lovely poker film music. Apologies for the extended delay. I'm sure you can imagine what was happening. I was finishing off lunch, and then I realised I hadn't brushed my teeth today, so I went and did that, and then I had to go to the bathroom before stream, so yeah. The stream starts on time in that it goes live on time, but other than that, who knows? Yeah. How is everybody? Got a little array of badges above me. So that's neat. We're going to try and get some more today. I do need to do the whole thing with the UI breaking. That one's broken. That one's broken. This one isn't broken, so I can copy that one. Pokemon number 2. Interesting. I think the reason the UI breaks is that when I close the game, it, like, unloads the images. So when I then open up next week, even though I've changed nothing, it can't, like, find the images in the location that I've specified. Even though that one looked correct, it was not. Same with this one. There we go. I think that may be why it breaks. I think potentially the emulator unloads the images when it's closed. And my software then can't find them. And so it makes a proxy. It makes a proxy of the image in a different file, in a different folder, and then when I come and open it up next week, it's still using that proxy image, so I think it's working, but then when I go to change, it doesn't change. You're still not working, are you? Oh, no, you are. Yeah, you're working. Okay, good, excellent. Right. First order of business. We've got a Snorlax to go engage. And we already have the music playing from last week. Okay. I'm sat here and I'm like, is Gear 5's Thunderfang our weakest move that also paralyzes? It might be. Oh no, Whirlpool's pretty weak. Oh, but it's a dot, and we don't really want a dot on a Pokemon that we're going to try to catch. Yeah, high power moves. Because that is my strategy. My strategy is hit it very hard. So yeah, I think potentially we're gonna lead with Gear 5. Not break time yet, doing a luck scene a bit. Thanks, Car! Hope your workday's going well. Oh god, when you open up a Discord channel and there's a wall of text, I will have to read that later. Okay. Let's carry on. Look at the boy, look at the boy. Alright, static encounter. Oh, I've changed zones, so the radio changed. That's why the radio was never really helpful in this game. Other than for this. Is that a... That's a floatzel. That's a floatzel. At least the sound effect is of a floatzel. It was! Pokemon knowledge! I could do one of those games where it's like, identify the Pokemon based off its call. Gen 1 would slip you up because there's like 5 Pokemon that all share the same sound, basically. Oh, that means I can't be using Thunderfang on him, though. Quick Ball. Quick Ball. Quick Ball, my beloved, let's go! Let's heckin' go. And it's level 50, so that's a usable Pokemon at this stage. Like, I wouldn't have to level that up too much. Right, second catch chance. Because static encounters don't count, as per the chat rules. And Arbok has appeared in the stream game. Is there a... Oh! Kick a backdoor into this route. Neat, okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, a Ninkita! How useful. Well, at least it will evolve. There we go. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. I didn't nickname either of these. Yeah. G, E, Z. I'm gonna have to go rename the Floatzel. Hello, sir. What level are you gonna be? A Walrein. 43, okay. Let's go! Yes, thank you for subscribing at tier 3. Oh my god. Ah, thank you for the tier 3 sub. Let's heckin' go. How you doing today, bud? Get them teeth. Get them teeth. Thank you for the support as always. It means so much to me. And with the tier 3, the big boy. The big boy tier 3. My back is in agony. I've done adult stuff and now I'm ironing. Ah, classic Sunday. Hopefully you can have a little lie down later to ease your back. Or get like a heat pack thing to put on it. I'm gonna heal up before we go into Diglett's cave. Twisted again. This day was fucking stellar. I had so much fun at the tourney. Heck yeah! Love that. Yesterday I went and hung out with my mum and dad, and then we went out in the evening to go have a curry with the extended family. And then I came back and didn't know what to do for ages. I went into VR for like an hour and then was like, oh, F it, I'm going to bed. No one was on, surprised. Well, there were people on, but like, none of my like close friends. VR chat does sometimes end up as one of those games where you meet somebody and they're like, "Oh, it was really fun talking with you. Do you want to add me as a friend?" And we go, "Yeah, sure, all right." And then you never speak to them again. And then you never hang out with them again. And you see them on your friends list, and after a while, you're like, "I've forgotten who this is," and you just forget. So, yeah, there were people on, but there were none of the sort of, like, immediate group that I hang out with regularly on, so I kind of looked at my friends list and I was like, oh, there's no one I want to hang out with. I don't know what to do. What am I doing? I mean, I need to go through Diglett Cave, but I want to see what these guys have. What do you have? A little teeny. Aww. I don't know what my hidden power is on Gear 5, so we'll find out at some point. Oh, a crit! Good boy! Good boy! How could this happen to me? To be fair, Gear 5 isn't even the lowest level in our group anymore. It's our lovely Lady Zelda return. Hello. Designer Lawrence. Adios. So how did your tourney go? Did you win? Or did you place well? Barbaboach? I've got a shiny one of these in Legends Arceus. I've not done anything with it. Just found it randomly because that's how Legends Arceus be. You just walk around and hear the ring, and you go, whoa, whoa. Where? It was in the river, unsurprisingly. Lost to 1-1, didn't feel too bad overall because it was close losses. Oh, fair enough. That's good. That's good. Oh, this fella's not talkative. Whee! Oh, a Jirachi. Oh, fun. Edgar. I keep thinking that Edgar is like is for some reason a reference to Edgar Allan Poe, and it's not. It's a reference to Edgar from Red Dead Redemption, because Edgar was our redemption. Wow! Giraffe should be Tonky. Tonky little sprite. I mean, it is steel type. That was why I used fire type move. Pidgeot. A Pidgeotta. A little Pidge. Me and Spook have been playing the Pokemon TCG game that's on the Game Boy emulator on the Switch together. We've been making a deck together. And we did a thing where we were like, we're gonna let fate decide. We said the first stage 3 card that we get from a booster is what we're gonna build our deck around, and we got a Dragonite of all things. We were like, cool, colorless. So we were like, well, are we gonna do like a flying type deck, kind of in a way? Because, you know, dragon flying, and because we got like Pidgeotto, Pidgeotto, got Fearow and Kangaskhan, well, not Kangaskhan, but you know what I mean. We were like, colorless deck, that could be cool. And we can't get a fucking Pidgeotto to save our lives. We've got like 4 Pidgeys and 2 Pidgeot cards, and we've got no Pidgeottos, and we're like, can't make our bird deck, god damn it. We're like 8 clubs in. Not 8, we're 6 out of 8 done. Ooh, this is a new route. I was literally walking down here and I was like, I've been here before, and then I literally like just slapped myself in the face with like, yeah, you've been here before. You've probably been here about 20 times in your goddamn life, the amount of times you've played through Kanto, whatever fucking region this is. Duck! Quick ball! We love it. I don't know. I don't know why this is in my brain at the moment, but it is, so that's what I'm gonna call it. It's not gonna fit. Prosciutto. Probably because Pidgeotto. Prosciutto. I've missed an I somewhere, haven't I? Yes, I have. C-I. Prosciutto. I'm not 100% sure how you properly pronounce it. I think it's meant to be prosciutto. I've heard British people say prosciutto because they're like pronouncing every single letter. And it's like, nope, that's not correct. And apparently there's I think it's Boston? I think the Boston accents in America, they just say prosciutto. And they just, like, don't say half of the word. And I'm like, that doesn't seem right either. I think it's prosciutto. I'm not sure. Ask an Italian. Prosciutto. I posted my scores. Ooh! You'll have to share them with Kay or with Stanji or something, because I don't know what they mean. Hi, Voss! How's it going? Oh god, none of these moves are good against you. But you're only level 15. Hello, Voss! Oh, another one. through this route a bit quicker, please? There we go. The middle player was my win, and it was against a guy who, if you condense down arrogance into a play, it was this guy, and I demolished him. Literally talked shit and got hit. Hell yes, we love to see it. The clap back. Okay, in we go. Another new zone. The Diglett Cave. Bunch of Diglett pop out the ground. That was surprising. In Diglett Cave? That's the one thing you can't be surprised by in Diglett Cave. Oh, Diglett Cave's had some work since the previous generations. We do not own Rockline. Oh, here we go. I was about to be like, are we going to get through without a single encounter? Aww, routes. Okay. I was about to do my big damage combo on him and said, is there anything you want to do? Because he has a huge damage mitigation buff he could do with that unit. No, because this won't kill my guys. The hubris. I'll save it for melee. The hubris. The hubris. Melee never occurred. Didn't get the chance. Just atomized. Quite disappointed to lose another stream, but I got to go in 1 hour though this week. I got this morning shift, so I'll be here until— oh, Foz, you're a little sweetie. You're not obligated to be here. I just really appreciate it. There you go. Atomized. In memory of those we have lost. I've kind of given up on the 5D chess names because they take too long. And I never seem to be able to think of them on the spot. There's Pachirisu. I might try for that. I might be too slow. This is Diglett's Cave. I like how that's the only sign in the game where it goes, this is blank. Every other sign in the game is just Johto, Johto Falls, Goldenrod City. Oh, a leaf stone. Hello. Oh my good nuggets, you're the first visitor I've had in a long time. I'm going crazy with joy. Since you look as bright as a nugget, let me give you a little present. Is it a nugget? Gives you black sludge. Oh, thanks. The army he plays is sometimes referred to as bananas, as their golden yellow have pointed curved helmets, so I burned all the bananas. It was wonderful. Hell yeah! Right, that smug-ass smile off his face. I don't fucking have cuts again! Hello? Breaststroke is waiting for you in his lab in Pallet Town. I received this from him. He wants you to have it. Ooh! Amazing item that can revive all fainted Pokemon. That's not helpful. More trees I can't cut down. Oh my god. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna go back. Ugh. Whoops, we've got a graphical glitch again. I think we've gone like 2 weeks without a graphical glitch. That's quite surprising. I can't believe we got our Pokedex up to 70. That's actually quite impressive, I think, for a Nuzlocke. Reset. Screenshot the glitch. My opponents in order were a student, a stoner, right? And an astrophysicist. Okay. Is it this Swabbler we gave cut to? Yeah, it was. This fucking game making me have to use cut at this stage. One of these things is not like the other. Oh, there were Noctowls in here. Alright. Oh, sure, now everything's turning up. We can kind of speed this a little bit because everything's quite low level. We almost got through last time without a single encounter, and now we've had about 6. Jesus, okay. Why did did you see that? Did you see my instinctive, I need to go this way to go to the Pokemon Center? Wait, Pokemon Center's not there in this version. It's here. They moved the entrance. Don't ask me why. Throw back to the day when that Jigglypuff would actually put your Pokemon to sleep. There used to be an item hidden in this grass patch in the original. Aww! Zelda wants to play. Aww! There it is, Toxaphil. The things that your brain remembers when you've played through a region about 6 billion times. We should go back to Kurt and get some Pokeballs off of him. Alright, I am gonna go quickly get Viridian City. While I still have the Swablu in my party. Just go all the way down to the bottom. Ooh! Encounter! Hey, Stunky! I love revive Stunky! You've got a shiny Stunky, don't you, Yes? Final opponent play for 15 years, and the last turn had a big point swing mechanic, and it was the difference between who won and who lost. And you said, legit, if not for this, it was your game. Aww. I wasn't fussed because my rule is if I make a good player work for their win, then it's a win for me. Heck yeah! That is a good way to think about it. Yesterday I saw very late that you were in VRC. I thought of joining, but I was wine drunk also. Fair. No. It would have been a bit weird if you were just drunk and it was just... Because it was just me. There was no one else on. Fine. Voz wine mom confirmed. How dare you? Voz is wine dad. We're on the road to Viridian City. I wasn't on VR very long. Because I did kind of log on in the hopes that maybe some other people would log on, because I've even said before that quite often what I do is I go on the VR chat website, look at my friends list and see who's online and decide if I'm going to go on or not. But I realised that, like, probably other people do that as well. So if everybody just logs onto the website to see who's online, and none of us go in the game, then no one will be online and none of us will go on. So I was like, well, I'll make the first leap, I'll log on, and then people might see that I'm online, and maybe they'll join me. And they didn't. That's fine. Hi, sweetie! Oh, thank you for the tea and biscuits. Mwah. Love you. Oh my god, so many cake and biscuits. Just trying to fatten me up, chat. Hello, Core. How you doing? I did take a very nice picture of the Flugel dragon, though, Voz. I will say that. It is lovely. Okay, I'm eating cake at the moment. We can tangent. You could probably use it. I am a fine weight. It is fine. I am a suitable weight for my height. Body mass index is stupid anyway. Oh yeah. I went and visited a whale. Turns out there's a lot of room on the back of a whale. Because I was like, huh, I wonder how accurate this is. There's a lot of room to walk about on the back of a whale. Yeah, I went and had a look because, yeah, pop, I was curious. So just how much room do we get? Quite a lot. You guys can have private convos on your whale, so... Oh, yeah. Look at this one in the background. Look, you see where I'm sat here? Look at this one in the background. I'm probably, like... Yeah, you can just about see here... Oh, you can't see it because of the thing, but that is kind... It looks like this little bump is just about to be where the eye is. So I'm, like, here. So people could comfortably sit, like, here, if they don't mind being swung up and down a little bit, and have a different conversation. Like, comfortably as big as a room. Like, in my VR space, you know, the size of my room, I could comfortably walk around and not walk off the edge of the whale in the game. It's bigger than a room. So if you can talk with someone in a room and have someone in the room in a room next door, yeah. But it was just fun to have it in VR because obviously you get, you know, because I mean, VR obviously gives us a 3D effect. It's two lenses, so it gives you the three. That's how you get the depth perception. So you get a better scale for things. I did see you pop into VRC last night, but I was doing things that weren't VRC. It's fine. It's fine. It was late anyway, so I wasn't on for long. I was just world hopping. I went to daycare. Went to daycare, because that's a thing. I'm up on Sun's pedestal. I immediately jumped down into the ball pit and ran over to these things and absolutely yeeted them. There's no animatronics in this world, so you don't have to be worried. It's just a pretty world. And God, the music playing on loop drove me crazy after a while. No clowns, no, there's no animatronics in the world. It's just the world. And then I went to this world, which is fucking beautiful. Look at this fucking look. Are you seeing this? Oh my goodness, it was gorgeous. I bookmarked this world. Beautiful. There's my Flugel. Stood in the water. You can't see it too well in these pictures, but the water does actually ripple when you walk around. It like registers your colliders. But the thing is that if you're in the world for 2 seconds, the ripples don't fade away, which is why the water is just not still, because it just keeps rippling and rippling and rippling, and then the ripples hit each other, so you just end up with this very wavy bit of water. The water like doesn't ever go still. So yeah. So pretty! My wings. And this is the Rezu stuff that I did before. So yeah. That world is so pretty. Beautiful things. Thank you. Thank you. I need to share them in the Discord. What I did do with the Discord, I know Chaotix probably won't mind because he never minds about anything. I made a thread in the VR chat pictures category for me to, because I'm doing the whole thing of like making a version of Blue on all of the bases. I've made a thread, and I've never made a thread in Discord before, so I didn't fully know what it was gonna do. But I think with threads on Discord, you have to actively be like, I'm gonna look at the thread kind of thing. I don't know. I'm still eating cake, so. Yeah, VR chat pictures, and then I made a thread. So I'm gonna I need to add to this. I need to take, like, nice pictures, so I need to do... Obviously I should put the Leggy in, because that was the first one. I need to do Leggy. Jex is technically done, so I gotta take some nice Jex pictures. Evo Rex is also one that is done. So I got 5 at the moment. I got 5. I need to do Rezuium, and I need to do Ghost Blaze still. But I digress. I hope you have enjoyed Cake Eating Tangent. Also, yeah, you got a glimpse of how chaotic my desktop is when I'm playing this. Okay. Let's put Abatu back in the box. And I think we're gonna go do a gym. Woo! So yeah, so I've got Rico, Flugor, Jex, Leggy, and Evo Rex are done. 5 bases that have finished blue textures. I can't just go to Pallet Town as well as the thing. I believe if we go to Pallet Town, we could get the thing to go get Ho-Oh. A ball toy? A mad cargo? Nope. Oh, Magnezone! The Pokemon that we were like, Magnezone would kill me. Masquerain? Why does everybody want my phone number? Go away! Damn. People in the Pokemon universe literally be like, I love a woman who can kick my ass. Just every single person. Speaking of being off topic, my brain got bored and I made up a superhero team. A superhero team? You're Kobold and you're... Yeah, Cobble is one of them. I need to do a Cobble name. I need to do a blue Cobble. I need to do Resuium, Ghostblaze, Cobble. Any other bases I own? I think that's all the bases I own for now. Oh, I like the updated grass texture in Viridian Forest. It definitely is Viridian. Oh my god, the bug catcher actually had a bug! Aww, Sandslash. I love Sand. I've got a shiny Sandslash. I'm counting a lot of Pokemon I have shinies of. We're getting very, very small XP top-ups from here. Gosh, how did I manage to speed past him? Why is the Kabuto floating like that? Wait, why is the Kabuto floating like that? Hi-Hat and Lowboy, truckers that made a delivery and had to take on hero personas to finish the delivery? What? This sounds like a great plot for an anime. Ah! Biscuit! Biscuit down! Biscuit down! It jumped at you, it's in mid-flight. Oh my god. It's a goddamn head crab. Well, I was trying to make as little mess as possible, and in doing that I made so much mess. Give me a sec. There we go. Yeah, stare emotes. A Rhyperior? Listen here, you fucking fuck. I hated how slowly that went down. I was reaching for my cup of tea, but I was waiting. I was like, you better die. You better fucking die. Me, on the other hand, I want to add things to my avatar. Me also, you need to work for money to ask from Blue. Yay! I can make the things for you! You're a little sweet pea, Buzz. Voss is the reason I have the Flugel base. Voss bought me the Flugel dragon for my birthday this year. Excuse me. I need to message Chaotix. I've just remembered. I need to message him. One, to see how he's feeling, but two, I need to ask him what would he like me to do tomorrow. If he's, I think I might ask if he's feeling better. Can we have a meeting this evening? Needs the chicken soup! I told him, get chicken soup! No, that's the wrong word. I put budgie instead of buddy. Needs chicken soup. The funny thing about chicken soup being good for you when you're a cold is like, it's some people say that it's maybe like 50% placebo, but some of it does actually have stuff that helps, but probably the biggest thing is that people just think it helps, so it does. Because, like, because most chicken soups, obviously you've got the chicken itself, protein, and the chicken stock in the soup. You know, stock tends to be made from bones and skin and leftover stuff like that, which has things like collagen and things like that, which can help with, like, joints and obviously small bits of calcium from the bones can help with calcium and stuff like that. We actually answered Ethan's phone call for once. It was accidental because I was talking. But chicken soup also tends to have things like onion and garlic put into it, both of which are also very good for helping you when you are unwell. Budgies are small good boys. They are! And I do really like budgies. I like birds. Budgies fall into the same categories as like huskies for me in that, God, I love them. I would love to have one as a pet. I would be a terrible owner. I could not own a bird. I could not own a dog like a husky. They take so much, they require so much out of you that I just know I cannot give. Vitamins, minerals, easy to swallow, sore throat, warm liquid, literally all you need. Yeah, basically. I said that as well. I was like, you need to warm up your core. And chicken soup can help with that. So, yeah. So it's like, it's a small amount placebo, but it is genuinely good for you. I'm just gonna rush that down with a cup of tea. There was like a crumb on my desk, and I was like, oh, I dropped a crumb from a biscuit, and I like scooped it up with my finger, put it in my mouth and crunched it, and my brain just went, that's not biscuit. And I was like, okay, I have a decision now. I either spit this out or I swallow it. Oh no! Huskies are basically children with ADHD. They need a specific type of owner. I'm aware, and I am aware that I am not that kind of owner. Probably because I also have ADHD. This is why cats have always been great. My family have always had cats, but cats have always been great for me because a cat is a pet that you can safely forget about for a few hours. Cats are very self-sufficient. Obviously, with every animal, there are exceptions, but as a generalization, cats are very independent. You can leave a cat alone for like 3 to 4 hours, and it'll be fine. You can't really be doing that with a bird or with a husky. Especially if I work from home. If I work from home and I had a husky, that husky would want attention from me all the time. Huskies are so naughty and so needy, and I love them. I could not own one. Mesprit? Psychic. I don't think anybody has a dark type move. But Zelda's a little low. runs around at 3 a.m. I mean, I know the joke is that cats run around at 3 a.m. I can't say any of the cats that I've had in my life have really done that, honestly. And I don't know if this is just me being a cat owner for all of my life. Because I know it's one of those things where I'm just like, well, I don't know why your cat does that, because my cats never do that. Cat disappears for a week and then shows up one day and everything is fine. Kinda, yeah. I've never had cats vanish for a week and then we do get concerned. I think the most we've had a cat be gone for was 3 days, and we were really worried. And that was Max, the tomcat. Definitely more of a male cat thing as well, I will say. The females never really do that. I guess not Lugia can go to the front. You're level 60 now, so you can have the XP share taken off of you. Shoal Shell! I don't know if Shoal Shells are really useful. Cat life is Pokemon World life. I came back as a champion. Yep. I read Warrior Cats. / still read Warrior Cats from time to time. I know what cats get up to. How many Warrior Cats books do I have? 18? 6, 12, 18, 19, because I have one special edition. And 19 Warrior Cats books. That's not even all of them. That's maybe half of them. That's maybe half of the Warrior Cats books. They churn those out. It's one of those things where if I go back and read them now, I'd probably, like, demolish them in a day, because they are aimed for a younger audience, so I'd probably get through them and be like, oh wow, that was really easy to read, because they're actually shorter than I remember. It's very funny looking at my Warrior Cats books, because there are some books that have, like, very obvious wear to them, especially the first ones, because they would, like, take them in my bag to school and read them on my lunch break. But, like, reading them on my lunch break, I'd only get, like, 10 minutes to read, so it would be, like, several weeks of taking them to school every day. And then some of the books, where it's like, oh, I read this in an entire day on a Saturday, so it's, like, pristine. It's so funny. Gym. I was like, what am I doing? I'm doing gym. I'm doing the gym. Actually, I'm gonna go here first. Hey, bud, how you feeling? Can this guy revive the fossils? Oh my god, guys, we can get our fossils! Yes. Come back after a while. That's a vague amount of time. That's an amount. Feeling better now, about 80%. You should get yourself some chicken soup. We just had a 10-minute conversation about why chicken soup is good for you. Have some tea. If you're feeling up to it, bud, I wouldn't mind having, like, a meeting either this evening or tomorrow morning. Just about where I'm going next. I wonder if the fossils are going to be randomized. That's what I'm curious about. I don't know. Ow. Oh, God. Oh, God. Mm-mm. 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 Mm. Mm-mm. 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 Okay, I got. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Oh my god. Tea. Tea. That's the kind of quality content you can only get on my stream, baby! Dog! God, it sounds like with this that I wish I had the high detail face tracking, because that would have been so fucking funny. Time for biscuit number 2. No. I might actually out of breath a little bit there. Whereas Faye, I would love you to crack on even if I'm incapacitated. I mean, I kind of have been. I'm at that stage again where I want to check with you, because it's like, do you want me to do more, or shall I move on to the next thing? Why do you have a Raikou? I'm at the stage of, do you want me to do more, or shall I move on to the next one? Are more biscuits required? Nope, definitely not. I think less biscuits are what is required. I think less biscuits. That was a lot of recoil. That was a lot of recoil. How am I faster than Raikou? We need content for YouTube Shorts. I don't do YouTube Shorts. I do TikToks. Okay, let's go heal. Am I gonna get that freaking that freaking TikTok voice, or that Shorts voice or whatever? Which is just, I put an entire biscuit in my mouth. And then it's just me just going, ah! Ah! Same thing. I mean, they kind of are. You're correct. You are correct. I don't really do YouTube stuff, is the thing. Like, we started the Pokemon Coliseum playthrough, but the problem is that it takes so long to edit. On the weekend, the big tank I painted on the Wii was just a raid boss all weekend. Nice. Glad to see that it was worth it. Okay, boss time! Bye, boss! Hope your work goes okay. Oh, geez, he's got a party of 5, huh? Opening with the hail, huh? Not Spore. Oh. Shoot. Ooh, spicy. Okay. Making me sweat a little bit on the first Pokemon, huh, Brock? I was supposed to be Brock seems real skinny. I think Brock has always actually been kind of skinny. Very lithe. This could hurt. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no! Oh, it was a crit! Well. Seven. We lost our not Lugia! Great. Not Lugia, no! Of course you had a fucking full restore. I'll be real, when I clicked to do an attack, I was like, there is a chance that this could go badly, because the outrage did, like, a little under half, so I was like, well, if he outrages again, I won't die. And it did cross my brain of, like, if he crits, that's not good. Oh, come on! That's insulting. Well, we're down, not Lugia. Hey guys, maybe we can have that Tyranitar in our team now. Can't say I'm as broken up over this loss as I have been with some of the others. Bronzong. Could keep with that. Steel type still. Uh-oh. That's not good. Mm-mm. No, not Edgar, no! No, 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 no! Oh, come on! What is happening? Edgar, no! Okay, now I'm upset! What is happening? Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. I wasn't that confident when I came in. Oh no, not now. I'm upset. I'm upset about Edgar. Hero. Oh, this is gonna see this. The problem with this, to be honest, is that this is now going to be a level grinding stream because we can't carry on. Oh God, cross chop. I can't believe we lost 2 in one fight. Come on. Come on. 4 times weakness. There we go. Oh my god. Chatot. That was rough, not gonna lie. That was rough. Pokemon's powerful attacks overcame my rock-hard resistance. You're stronger than I expected. Go ahead, take this badge. Oh my god. You're up. Is it worth it? I don't know if it was. I was about to be upset if Mantine killed the boy. I know. The problem is that because the moves are randomized, I kind of have to ignore my weaknesses and prioritize their weaknesses. Of like, yeah, Mantine's a water type, but it probably doesn't have a water move, so I need to prioritize the fact that it was weak to electric. Which is a risky way to play. I really enjoyed the battle with you, Blue. Oh, good. I'll give you Rock Slide. No, you won't. TM80. Oh god, I can sit back in my chair. Oh. Just wait and see, I'm gonna become a lot stronger. Oh, good. Edgar. Edgar. No, he was our redemption. Died for your sins, yeah. What sins? I didn't do none! A relic of the past, oh god. Ah! I'm sorry, Edgar. You were a true champion. My stream deck isn't working very well at the moment. I need to fix it. Currently Strange used his body to pay for your victory. So it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. And also not Lugia. Not that we play favorites. Look at my boys. Look at my blessed babies. Okay. Large boy. One large boy. Who else are we bringing? Oh my god. We've got the only one that's like a decent level is the Floatzel that's level 50. Everybody else is gonna need leveling. Do we bring somebody to evolve them? We have got the Entei. We've got the Entei. Do we bring the legendary with us? Yeah, I need to mess with my Stream Deck. My actual like emote keys are actually like not working for some reason. It's weird. We have more routes to do. I think we'll find something there. The problem is level core. The wild Pokemon in Kanto are actually really weak. Look at some of these. Level 5, level 15, level 25, level 16. That was the Snorlax, so that was an encounter. Level 25, level 28, level 26, level 20, 29, 35, 15. They're really low level for this stage of the game. So, you know, unless you want grind stream, which, I mean, it's good. I think the rest of the stream is going to be grind stream regardless of what we do. Yeah. I've only got 1 XP share as well, so... I think it's going to be the Entei. That was rough. That was rough. That was not great. You know what? Because I'm probably going to be fast forwarding a lot and doing a lot of grinding, I'm actually going to turn off the game music and put some stream music on, so that is easier on the ears for people. What have you done today, Blue? What do you mean, what have I done? What do you mean, what I've done? I mean, I've lost 2 Pokemon. Ah. If you want to know what I've done around the house, I've been tidied up after Sadie, and that's probably dry. It's in the dryer. I've had to wash that again. I'm engaging in new conversation for stream. Ah, I see. I'm very defensive because I've experienced a loss. By the way, that was an excellent comment, the relic comment. Ha 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 ha, you're both so funny. This is not a capture opportunity. Look, it's level 3. This is awful. I think I need to go back to Vermilion. Yeah, I emptied out Sadie's food bowl afresh and did the whole thing where we basically have to bring her food to her in order to get her to eat. Yeah, I mostly sat downstairs with Sadie in the morning. It's been a very inactive Sunday for me. Oh my god. I don't have surf anymore! Bet you guys weren't ready for Surf Tyranitar. Yep, that's the decision I just made. Surf Tyranitar. Stream's drying up. Tried some pots before. Oh right, yeah, I did do the dishwasher as well. Has another new Pokemon game been announced? There hasn't been yet. I watched a video the other day that sort of discussed that. It was one of those things of like after the fallout from Scarlet, it would be very stupid of them if they released another new Pokemon game, like even next year. Like it would be basically impossible for them to do. I think it would be impossible for them to do in a generation in a year. So there definitely wasn't going to be a new Pokemon game this year. But I feel like it would be dumb if they released a new mainline game next year as well. And that was when it started getting to, well, if it's not going to be this year, and they try to do it next year, they're then going to have the 30th anniversary of Pokemon coming up in 3 years, and it's like, well, the 30th anniversary would be a good time to release a new generation. And it's like 3 years is a decent dev time. So, but then it's like, well, the Pokemon Company needs product, you know? The CEOs and the higher-ups are going to want something being made. Basically, it was the argument was being made of, should we have another Legends game? And the answer was yes. It was like Legends, over Scarlet and Violet, Legends was just, like, completely adored, basically. It did so well. Pretty much everybody loved it. And it was one of those things where, you know, they could, let's be honest, reuse a lot of assets. You know, they could reuse a lot of assets that were already made for Legends Arceus. And then the argument was like, again, you guys have heard me talk about this on the stream. I'm biased, but the video I was watching was making an argument for Legends Johto, because they said, time-wise, Johto is now the region that we have been away from the longest. Because Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver was the last time we went to Johto, and that came out before Black and White. So some people are saying, like, oh, we should get Black and White remakes. And it's like, well, we've actually we've seen Black and White more recently than we've seen Johto. And the lore of the Johto region with Ho-Oh and Lugia and the legendary dogs, it kind of suits to a Legends format. There's a lot of lore there to investigate. There's the towers that get burnt down, and the islands and stuff, the Whirl Islands. Well, they are now Pokemon Gen 400,000 with the new Pokemon Tail type. Car exhaust with pipe and eyes. We're on Gen 9? We're on Gen 9. I've actually forgotten. I think we're on Gen 9. Hi, Gita. How you doing, sweetie? Haven't talked to you in ages. I'm waiting for a Poké Kart to come out. All games wind up as a Mario Kart clone. I mean, Pokemon Snap was so good, actually, as well. They should do more spin-offs, basically. I think they need less. We don't need a mainline game with a new generation. I think we could do more spin-offs. Which genre do you think would be good for the Pokemon series? Well, I guess the question is that which ones haven't we had? Because we've got RPG, obviously. We've had puzzle. There's puzzle Pokemon games. We've had a fighting Pokemon game. There was Pokemon Tekken, real game. Pokemon Tekken is a real game. So we've had fighting. I mean, what even is Pokemon Snap classed as? I guess it just falls under adventure, just that broad category, adventure game. PRPG. P? What's the P stand for? Because Pokemon is an RPG game. What am I doing? Forget a move. Ironhead. Ooh, Ironhead. I don't like the risk of Giga Impact, I'll be honest. I know you mentioned Pokemon Minecraft before, but I'd love an actual survival Pokemon game. That could be fun. I mean, because I'm basic, I would like a platformer. I think an adventure platformer could be fun. And I'm surprised they haven't done that. I'm surprised they haven't done like a you know, something for the kids of like, you know, Pikachu's Grand Adventure or something, you know? Seems like a very obvious thing for Nintendo, you know? That seems like a really obvious thing. You get Missing No, mate. If we don't get Missing No hasn't been in the franchise for a long time, actually. Is Missing No? I think Missing No is Gen 1 only because it's the result of the glitch which got fixed. Could you imagine if they made Missing No canon? If they did a game that where Missing No was like an actual threat? So, but I think spin-offs, more spin-offs is a good way to go. Because I love Mystery Dungeon. I love Pokemon Ranger. Legends Arceus was also great. Pokemon Snap, fantastic. Great game. The new Pokemon Snap was astounding. That was another one that everybody loved. Pokemon Tamagotchi, I believe that does exist in Japan. I believe they did do a line of Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi have always been much more of a Japanese thing. I don't think it's taken off as well over here, because there's like the Digimon Tamagotchi as well. They also didn't do as well. Let's go crazy. Oddworld Pokemon Odyssey, yeah. See, I'm just biased of like, I'd love like a Spyro-esque Pokemon platformer. You know what? You know what's a game that I never hear anyone talk about? Pokemon Channel. I really liked Pokemon Channel. It was one of those games that was very much of like when you've played it, you've kind of played it. You know, it's kind of a one and done thing. But it was one of those ones where one of those early games utilizing the internal clock and the calendar of like you need to do stuff like on a day thing, like Animal Crossing, because this was also on the GameCube. Animal Crossing came out on the GameCube. I really enjoyed Pokemon Channel. It was one of those things that, again, me being a kid, I would wake up early, which I know, for me, wild concept. I would wake up early, like 2 hours before I had to go to school, so that I could play Pokemon Channel for an hour, and sort of do my daily Pokemon Channel, essentially. Just the precursor to me doing MMO dailies. Team Rocket base plays the Pokemon, you gotta save them all. That's a neat idea, actually, yeah. Duke Nukem 64 Pokemon Arena Shooter. Oh my god. They have Splatoon. Nintendo made Splatoon, so they're not against shooters. And again, Pokemon Tekken exists. Pokken Tournament, literally Pokemon crossed for Tekken, Pokken. Pokken Tournament is a real game that has proper tournaments and things. Of Pokemon fighting it out. So it's like, when that exists, you can sort of, like, it kind of muddies the waters of your argument of like, oh, Nintendo would never do that. And it's like, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? They've got a fighting game. They wouldn't do a Pokemon shooter, wouldn't they? They probably would. They'd have to sugarcoat it. You know, you wouldn't have actual guns in it, much like how Splatoon doesn't have actual guns. They're water guns, well, ink guns, because ink, squids. But they would Pokemonify it. It's just me though, as being a person who's not a shooter fan, is I always sit there and I'm like, does the world need another shooter? And that's not a good argument. I know it's not a good argument, because I can, as someone who doesn't like platformers, could usually go, does the world need another platformer? The answer is game. You know, the world always needs new games. It's called innovating and creating new things. Spicy takes. But yeah, I will say I am surprised that like some kind of Pikachu platformer for kids doesn't exist at this point. What about like a Feeding Frenzy style game where you pick up a starter and you play as that Pokemon, defeating enemies to level up and evolve and encounter trainers? Maybe. Oh, what if there was like a Pokemon roguelike? Yeah, I don't want to learn Hyper Fang. You know how we've been playing through Digimon and it's like, you know, it works different for Pokemon because Pokemon actually can die. Which is, you know, not a thing that Nintendo likes to really address because it's a kid's game, but they can die. Whereas Digimon don't die, they just reset their data because they are digital. But it would be, we've been talking about how it's neat that it has like roguelike mechanics of like your Digimon, you raise it up and then it resets back, but it's slightly stronger from before. It'd be interesting if there was like a Pokemon roguelike thing. I guess that's kind of Mystery Dungeon, but I don't know if Mystery Dungeon never really strikes me as roguelike. But I guess via how you would define a roguelike, it kind of is. I don't know. The thing with Mystery Dungeon is that you can, because it's still Pokemon, you still level up, so it's like if you died in a dungeon, if you go do that dungeon again, you probably will still die, because if you died, it means you're not strong enough. So what you've got to do is you've got to go back and grind lower level dungeons, like you would grind lower level Pokemon. How are we doing, by the way? 29. Pericles versus Pokemon. Oh my god, could you imagine? Imagine the parallel universe where Nintendo is not ashamed to work with other developers. Very insular, Nintendo are. They don't like working with people. Let's drink some of this tea. Oops, I ended up on land. See, I know we've talked about it in the past that it would be another thing that would never happen that we think would be fun would be Pokemon Monster Hunter, because of like if you take some Pokemon very literally and their Pokedex entries very literally, they're terrifying. And the reason that we really like that idea is there is an artist quite well known in Pokemon circles who actually did Pokemon cross Monster Hunter styled artwork that look so good. Mm-hmm. Couch will take one look at them, rip and tear. No! He only hurts bad people. He's a good boy. Oh. Oh. Pokemon strategy game? It already exists. Pokemon Conquest. We've literally played it. No love. Don't patronize me. Patronize me? I don't know. That's a tactics game. Oh, well, excuse me for breathing. Tomato, potato, chapato. This is how I annoy Spook. Tactics games and strategy games are the same, right? You need strategy in order to play tactics. Just because you have to think, it doesn't make it a strategy game. Yeah, it does. You have to have a strategy. Ergo, it is a strategy game. New Pokemon strategy game, Pokemon Puzzle. Yeah! Regular Pokemon is a strategy game, and my strategy is hit it very hard. It's a strategy. I love this song. I will hit you very hard. Domestic! Call the police! Meanwhile, this song in the background. Excuse me while I sing along. I need you to respect me, I respect me. I don't need you to love me, I love me. But I want you to know you could know me if you change your mind. If you change your mind. Pokemon Sims, you play as a parent of a Pokemon trainer and you hold all of their Pokemon and live out a normal life. That would be amazing. You didn't see me playing Paleo Pines on Wednesday because you had to go to bed. I love that game so much. I've played like 3 hours of it. Could you imagine like a Pokemon Paleo Pines? So Paleo Pines is like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing a little bit, but you have dinosaurs that help you run your farm. Can you imagine that with Pokemon? Sold. Immediately sold. Your son caught a Growlithe and they aren't using, he's now the pet dog. Ah! That would be so good! Come on, Nintendo, make an Animal Crossing Pokemon game! The market is there for it. It would print money. I need you to respect me, respect me. I need you to love me, I love me. Didn't mean to do that. You could know me, changed your mind. They could just make minigame games like in Stadium, but as a standalone thing. That was... I think they did that. I think it was called Poker Park. I think they made a minigame game, and it was called Poker Park. It was on the Wii. Very much flew under the radar. Oh, so, no, what you mean is you need, Pokemon Mario Party. Do you want to put the music visual on stream? Oh, right, yeah, that is something I should do. Hang on. Where is it? Spotify. Can I copy this? Copy. There we go. What about a Pokemon vs. Digimon game? I think people have wanted Pokemon vs. Digimon literally since the 90s. I think that could be very funny. Not that it would ever happen, but it would be very funny. It's just funny because, like, as is typical of Digimon, is that quite often the Digimon will get stronger throughout the fight because they can Digivolve. Whereas, you know, your Pikachu is still a Pikachu unless you introduce one of the gimmick mechanics like a Z-move, or a Mega Evolution, or a Dynamax, or whatever. So it's like, you start with Pikachu versus Agumon, and then it becomes Pikachu versus Greymon, and then it becomes Pikachu versus Greymon, and you're like, oh no! The damage scaling in Digimon is just so insane in comparison to Pokemon, it's funny. But it's like, if you brought out some of the legendary Pokemon, they could stand out, but then again, it's like, well, you'd start with an Agumon versus a Rayquaza, and it's like, well, that's only gonna go one way, isn't it? New virus enters the Digiverse as you as a Porygon. Oh my god. That would be cool. Wouldn't be the stranger, because Digimon is always very open to strange things. Literally the opening premise for Digimon Cyber Sleuth, if you've never played that one, is, as with most Digimon games, you get sucked into the digital world, but you kind of get, like, spat back out, but you're, like, half human, half data? So one of the key mechanics of the game, because you're a cyber sleuth, you get hired as, like, a detective, and literally one of the mechanics of the game is, like, you go into people's, like, computers and things to get their files and get the data that you need for the cases. It's very bizarre. And I've not finished it, so I don't know how the plot resolves on that. Because it is very typically anime of just, like, you get fined by this person who's like, hi, you're half data, half living person, do you want to come work for us as a detective? And it's like, "Keh?" You're very okay with this information. Pokemon Zoo Tycoon. Oh, yes. For real, one of my favourite parts of the original Mystery Dungeon, which I'm sad that actually isn't in the remake, is when you hire people from the dungeons to join your team, they have a habitat that they go to, and if you go to the habitat, you can see them walking around, and then you can talk to them in the habitat. And in the remake, they removed that. They made the habitat just a list. If you go through the door to enter the habitat area, and then it just gives you a list of the different habitats, and you click it, and it just gives you a list of the Pokemon in the habitat. And I'm like, that's worse. That's a downgrade. It was cooler when you could go into the habitat and walk around in it. Why would you remove that? That's lame. It's a downgrade. Go back. Go back. There could be a lot of fun with the Pokemon Zoo Tycoon thing, because Pokemon could definitely be one of those things, almost like the, again, like Paleo Pines we were playing last week, of, like, they all have very specific requirements. And, like, so, like, Paleo Pines is a good example of, like, you have herbivores and carnivores, and the carnivores won't eat the herbivores because it's that kind of game. But generally, it's a case of generally you don't want to put a carnivore and a herbivore together because they won't get on, quote-unquote, because kid-friendly. But then there was things like, oh, these Pokemon are herd Pokemon, and they like to have companions. You want to have loads of Pokemon in the same pen. Oh, this Pokemon is solitary. It wants to have the pen on its own. Oh, and this Pokemon likes this particular biome because of its typing. And things like that.
Well. Let me get a look at the menagerie. You must be Amethyst.
I think that it's a shame, really, because one of the things that holds back the Pokemon franchise is the fact that it is for kids. So it means that they'll never try to do anything too complicated, because at its core, they want to market it to kids.
And it is. I've got a new style and a few new toys.
Which is a shame, really.
To your happily ever.
I can see it occasionally on Twitter. It's literally it's like appears as a promoted tweet, and it's obviously one of those things where it's like, oh, this person follows a lot of gaming people, so we're going to put it in their recommended. Is that someone is literally making a like fantasy Zoo Tycoon game where you have like dragons and griffins and like really weird stuff that you've never heard of, but like Zoo Tycoon. And whenever I see the advert, I do sort of think, I'd consider playing it. I think I've only ever played Zoo Tycoon or something similar to that once in my life. I actually don't have a lot of experience with that genre of gaming. I have played Sims a few times, and I think I played SimCity once. And one time I played open TTD with the squad and spent 3/4 of the game in last place and then rocketed forward into first place in the final quarter because I invested all my money in airplanes. Pokemon Theme Hospital. We should play it on Fridays. We can add it to the list. We can add one of the various games I just listed to the list. This is the thing, I guess, is like, is it more interesting for people if we do longer playthroughs of like playing through a game on Friday, or is it just better to do a different game every time as like a tasting thing? So I know that a lot of streamers do that, because go figure, it's like games these days are quite long, and even if you are sat playing games every day, it's like it can still take you forever to get through a game. So a lot of streamers do just kind of go, we're gonna play it like 2 or 3 times and then that's it. Oh, that's right, I heard the story, don't really like how it ends. Gee, it's swell to finally be her other. Oh my god. Brain attack! Pokemon Black and White. Spook, I know what you mean. You're gonna have to rephrase that. Pokemon Black and White is a real game. What you mean is Pokemon God Sim, I guess, is what you would call it. That one was shit. I liked Black and White. If they announced Black and White remakes, I'd be down for it. That's the other one that people... There are 2 main games that people are wishing for right now. Legends Johto and Black and White remake. I would want Legends Johto more than a Black and White remake, especially after the Diamond and Pearl remakes, because the thing was is that when they remade Gold and Silver into Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it was updated and there was quality of life and changes that were good. The same thing happened when they did Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. The games were updated, modern stuff, the slight bits in the story were changed, you know, new mechanics, and then they remade Diamond and Pearl, and they're exactly the same game. They're exactly the same game. There's no difference between Diamond and Pearl on the DS and Diamond and Pearl on the Switch. They are the same. And it's a little bit boring. If I wanted to play Diamond and Pearl again, I'll play Diamond and Pearl again. You need to make them different. It's a remake, what you wanted was a remaster. I guess that's the distinction, isn't it? No, I think is it the other way round? Is it the other way round? Isn't a remaster the one where they keep everything the same and they just update the graphics, and a remake is when it's totally redone from scratch and has new elements? I think it's the other way around. Yeah, confusing game terminology. But yeah, I saw Cerebi Joe this morning tweeting out, because one of the things that Cerebi will tweet out is when it's like the anniversary of a game. So Cerebi Joe was like, oh, on this day 2 years ago, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were released on the Switch, and then he then quote retweet that on his personal account and was like, these Pokemon games sure were Pokemon games. And I was just like, yeah, I feel that. It's like, they were fine because I like Pokemon games, but, you know, being subjective, I'm like, it's exactly the same game. Legends Arceus came out 2 months later, and that absolutely demolished it out, and just absolutely blew it away. I don't see the point in remastering games, because part of the joy in old games is the fact that they are old. Yeah. I get that. I still like, one of the best examples of a remake for a game is the Reignited trilogy. Reignited trilogy is great. but it stands on its own. I could play through the Reignited trilogy perfectly fine. I can also play through the original Spyro games perfectly fine. They're different games. It's like, yeah, at its core it's the same, but they kind of handle differently. They're different games. The Diamond and Pearl, it's the same game. It is the same game. I classify them as remakes because they're built from the ground up with add-ons. Yeah, exactly. Once the overall leaderboard gets posted, I will land 35 out of 41 in the local club. Oh, neat! That's awesome! Heck yeah, bud! Just polishing old games because the graphics and music are a part of the charm. Yeah, yeah. Let's think, because Reignited is new graphics and new music. That's why it's like it even though it is Spyro at its core, it feels like a different Spyro game. Even though it's a remake of the original ones, that it is a separate game from the original. Whereas in this day and age, it's like, I want to play Diamond and Pearl, you could pick up a DS and play Diamond and Pearl, or you could pick up a Switch and play Diamond and Pearl, and it will be the same experience. And it didn't even have any of the stuff from Platinum in it. I think that was the thing that got a lot of people actually angry about them, is that they released Diamond and Pearl, and then they released Platinum, which is, you know, the third one in the series, has a few changes in it, has new plot, has, you know, just a few things to make it fresh. They released the Diamond and Pearl remakes, and it doesn't have any of the Platinum stuff in it. Are they going to remake Platinum? No. Platinum's just sat there in the corner going, the fuck, dude? I think that's why people want Legends Johto so bad. I think that's part of it, of like, we've already had a remake of Gold and Silver. We don't want another Gold and Silver remake. That's not what we want. We want the Johto region and experience, but we want a new take on it. Which is why Legends Arceus was so good. You know, there were only like, what, 6 new Pokemon added into that game? You didn't even need new Pokemon. It was a new experience, new gameplay, new mechanics, just a new approach to the franchise. People loved it. People loved it. I think that's what Pokemon fans want. They don't just want the same thing over and over. You know, people even take the mick. You know, my brother took the mick out of me as I took the mick out of him, and I'd be like, you want FIFA again? That's just the same game again. And he was like, well, you want Pokemon game? That's just the same game over again. I don't think that is what Pokemon fans want. I don't think they want the same game over and over again. They want Pokemon, but fresh. That's why Pokemon Snap did so well as well. There weren't even any new Pokemon in Pokemon Snap. There was nothing special revealed at the end of like, oh, is it a secret new Pokemon? It was all Pokemon that we'd all seen before, but people loved it because it showed them in a new light. What about a Pokeball Maker game like Potion Maker game, but with the apricorns? That could be neat. That's the thing, is that they've kept apricorns are definitely still a canon thing. You know, they got brought back in Legends Arceus of this is how you make Pokeballs. You use apricorns. So that's a canon part of the universe lore. So you could have like a thing where you're making the different potions and stuff, the healing remedies. You could expand on that. Cooking Mama, but Pokemon! Pokemon Chef game! To be fair, they had like the Poffin minigame in Diamond and Pearl, and then there was the Pokeblocks in Ruby and Sapphire, and there's Curry in Sword and Shield. They always add in some kind of like cooking minigame. Mind you, that's when people start going like, what kind of fish am I eating? Is this Magikarp? Am I eating a Magikarp? Stuffed duck. What duck? Farfetch'd? Kind of had all that in the juice and the berries and the puffins. So hi, Sugar Spoon. We're just kind of discussing, like, what could be interesting for the Pokemon franchise. Different types of genre. It was kind of funny how when Legends Arceus like got revealed, people went, "Oh my god, it's Pokemon Breath of the Wild," and it kind of wasn't, actually. That was just the assumption that people made of like, oh, visually it looks like Breath of the Wild, and I was like, yeah, but mechanically it doesn't really work like that. Like, at all. It's open world, and that's kind of where the similarity stops. Arceus, but another region. Yep, I have been talking about that so much. Yeah, I've brought up Legends Johto so many times. I want it so bad. That's what we want. I think that's what people want. I think people want another Legends Arceus game. Because it did so well. How about Pokemon Warhammer? That probably exists on the internet. I'm surprised they haven't tried to make an actual TTRPG, given the popularity in the last few years. Because Lord knows that the fan community have made their own. I even tried to run one briefly, that didn't last very long. Ugh. I psyched myself out of it. I got too excited and then couldn't live up to the pressure that I made in my head. When the Emperor lost his sons, we had to go catch them all! Oh my god. Ooh, Energy Ball. I think I want to keep Discharge. What is this game with giving me special moves on physical attackers? Yeah, definitely a physical attacker. Entei is across the board. It's fairly even for Entei. We got Attitude up to level 40. So that's nice, just from chatting. I'm gonna save, just because we ain't saved in a hot minute. The last thing I want to do is lose all of that leveling. I'll save. I need to sit up. I've slowly... You can probably tell from my avatar that I just gradually was sinking lower and lower in my chair. What's funny to me is that there's so many versions of a Pokemon TTRPG out there. There's so many. There's literally like... There's an actual like standalone Pokemon TTRPG that literally does like level 1 to 100 as a Pokemon trainer with your team of 6. Frankly, it looked a little bit too complicated. There was Pokemon 5e, which was the one that I actually like looked into and started a game of. Which was a nice hybridization of the to TTRPG, a tabletop RPG, like Dungeons and Dragons. Sit at a table, pen and paper, roll dice, except you can play them online through simulators and things like that. Tabletop RPG. Which was the one that I looked at because I was like, well, we won't have to learn a new system because it's 5e, and we know how 5e works. It's just basically a 5e class. And then they've made monster stat blocks for all of the Pokemon, so I was like, nice and easy. I've also seen a 5e Pokemon thing, which is literally Pokemon as like classes, which was someone trying to do a quote-unquote mystery dungeon version. So it would literally be like you would have I think what it was that you could have a list of traits, and you would sort of pick and choose, like you were making a custom race, basically. And you would get new stuff as you leveled up alongside your class stuff. So, like, I think the example one I saw was, like, an Abra that was a monk. And it was basically monk stat block, but, you know, when you reach the appropriate level, you gain access to things like Dimension Door, in quotation marks, teleport, things like that. It was that kind of thing, which also looked like it could be fun. And again, it was just slapped on 5e because, again, 5e is like it's the go-to system for a lot of people, because for a lot of people, and again, they're making generalizations, but for most people, it is the easiest system for them to get their head around, and it has the widest reach of, let's be honest, the most people play 5th edition. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is surprising that they never thought to try to make their own official one, to sort of bring back around to why I brought that up. I got any tea left? A little bit. Cold. Ugh. And now water. I'd love them to bring back the Pokemon Duel game. I loved it. The Pokemon Duel game? My brain's thinking of like 3 games that could be. I don't know which one you're referring to. Which one was that? Is that the app? The app one? The app, Miriam! The app! It was the app that was the spinning minifigures. Ah, yes. Fun fact, that app was based on a real game that they tried to start using real figures that I own. They had 1 season because it didn't take off. So you know how there's the TCG, the trading card game? They tried to make the TFG, a trading figure game. It's based on a tabletop board game. Yeah, I own it. I still have those figures. They're up in the loft. In our like little toy boxes that we have that we keep, because we are nostalgia people and we still have some of our toys from when we were kids. I have them. They're very cool. I liked them a lot. I'm sad they didn't take off, but it's probably a good thing they didn't, because Lord knows that collecting figures is more expensive than collecting cards. Oh, hammer. I bought the new ones, my favourite, from the Pokemon Center. Oh my god, I forgot that you had physical Pokemon centers. We still don't have a physical Pokemon center in this country. We had a temporary pop-up one that came up in London during the anniversary event, but it was a temporary one. And we didn't even get to go in. We went all the way to London, got there, saw how many people there were, and we were just like, nah, it's not happening. We'll go do something else. Although at least we've got an online one now. They didn't spin. They're just like Mario Bros. Bash or whatever the fighting game is called. I order them online from the Pokemon. Oh, right. God. Looking at the Pokemon Center shop is always so dangerous. Because, I mean, it's Pokemon. I will find something on that website that I like. It wouldn't be hard. I could do it in 3 seconds. I could just click Pokemon Center and front page, and I'd be like, want that? It's dangerous. Dangerous website. Just don't. Just don't. Just don't. Just don't. Whap, 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 whap. For a while I was collecting the pins, but they're like $10 each or more. Yep. I'm glad that I'm not a pin collector. I have a lot of pins because I get a lot of them free with TCG stuff back when I was a big TCG collector. So I've got like a box full. But yeah, because they've literally made pins for all of the Pokemon, and it's like $10 a pin. Cool. How many Pokemon are there? Oh no. Unrelated note, I found what models I want to buy. I literally went, Warhammer. That's what you really need is a 3D printer. Oh wait, you go to official tournaments, so that wouldn't be any good. You can't use proxy models in official tournaments. That's a shame. But if you ever wanted to just do something for fun, you could 3D print it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, you said it like 5 minutes later, so I didn't know whether you had like gone off to the kitchen and then came back and been like, by the way. Right. Attitude's on 43, and also Gear 5 is like well on track to get to 70. I'm like level grinding 2 of them at the moment. Because this patch of water is like the most reliable place to find Pokemon at like this level, because everywhere else in the region you go somewhere and it's like, here's a level 15, and I'm like, oh god. Warhammer makes 0 sense to me though. Oh, same. But I know that Das enjoys it, and that's just enough for me to be like, yeah, go you, your own fun. Makes you happy, and that's all that matters. That's why many people didn't like Heart Gold Soul Silver, because the endgame was so hard to level the guys up to beat the bosses. Yeah, early Heart Gold is good. Early Heart Gold is good. The second half of the game, it's like, ooh, this is a slog. This is a bit of a slog. The mid-end grind the mid-end game grind is huge. Mm-hmm. You brought this on yourself. I will remind you. I asked you guys to vote whether we would carry on after we beat the Elite Four, and you voted yes. So you bought this on yourself. I'm not complaining. Alright then. Fair enough if you're not complaining. Oh god. We still have 2 gym leaders left, and Brock stomped 2 people out of our team. I'm terrified. I need to go to the bathroom. be back in a few minutes. Hiya! We're back. Back to the grind. This has been a leveling episode because we had a scare. We had a frighten. I saw at someone else's stream while playing the PCG that there is an add-on thing that tells you the best way to get the Pokemon core, it tells you their stats, and each time a wild one appears. I forget the name of it, but it mentions which ones are quests for the weeklies. I do know that that exists, but I kind of don't want the game to be any more intrusive than it actually is. Because it's just a nice thing for people to do while they watch, but it's like not what we're known for. At least I would hope not. That's just me. No, I'm like, you know, I have my very, very minimal UI. I try not to have things to be obtrusive. I don't know why. I don't know why I like my layout to be so minimal, because I'm not like that in real life. I have so much stuff everywhere. And like, if I'm in like empty rooms, I hate so much. I didn't know if you knew about it. Thanks for letting me know. We got half an hour left, and it's probably still going to be more leveling. Although, we could go to Pallet Town. We could, sort of in the last 10 minutes, fly over to Pallet Town. I believe if we go to Professor Oak's lab, we might get the item for Ho-Oh. I can't remember if we have to have got all the badges in order to do that.
She packed my bags last night, pre-flight.
I wonder if at this point it's maybe worth me going to like Victory Road or something. I think Victory Road has a slightly higher level. I've been poisoned, not good.
As a kite by then. I miss the earth.
In fact, Victory Road has slightly higher level Pokemon, so I don't know if maybe we should go over to Victory Road instead. Could go give it a look. Oops. Not summary. Fly. I haven't been back here since the Elite Four. I wonder where we can... from here, can you fly to either region? You can. Yeah. Hello? Pokemon? Goddamn Wish Cache. They're still level 35! That's not really an improvement. That's not an improvement. The Pokemon here are slightly harder to defeat. Yeah, that's not an improvement. What the frick? Also, hi, you're here? I'm on my way to my dad's house to give him his lunch. The Elite Four has no time to rest overnight. It's such hard work, do you know? Do you want to exchange numbers? Sure, I'll have your number. Call me on Monday around noon if you want to battle. What? That was interesting. But yeah, that doesn't really help us. And it's further away from a Pokemon Center. I went to the wrong town. Yeah, Rocket Man. Rocket Man. What do you know?
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, no, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning out his fuse up here alone.
Yeah, these Pokemon give us slightly less HP, but we can one-shot them, which means we don't have to stop to heal HP as much. We mainly just have to stop to heal our move points. Think it's gonna be a long, long time. Think it's gonna be a long, long time. Think it's gonna be a long, long time. Ooh, Thunder. Wow, that's a low hit rate on Thunder. Again with the special moves.
Because I'm beautiful, baby. Did you really say listen to your heart? Because you are on the inside. I need you to tear our argument apart. You gray lied. I'd rather be shiny, like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck. Scrub the deck.
69, can I get a nice in chat, please? We have had our Pokemon reach level 69. It's going to be a long, long time searching Bill's PC one day to find, oh no, I'm Pokemon. I see, I realized at the end what you were doing. I realized at the end. And I think it's going to be a long, long time. Nice. Nice. We always get, like, Quilava, and then maybe a Swablu. I know that there are other Pokemon in this bay, but I guess they're just low encounter chance on the encounter table. Love, I don't know if you're listening still, but did you get that stuff out the dryer like I mentioned? My goal here, I think, is to actually get gear 5 to 70, and then I'm gonna change which Pokemon I'm grinding with. They're getting such little XP. We don't have a lucky egg, which is a shame. I look like I'm leaning again. It's because my chair's moved because I went to get up. Oh god, I look over at my UI and I see the 8 deaths and I feel physical pain. Once again with the too much logic, but I feel there's a lot of things that wouldn't exist if Pokemon did, like trucks and boats and such, at least in their current forms. I guess it's one of those things where you have to think that, in a way, because Pokemon, 90% of Pokemon are animals still. They're, they have a certain degree of sentience to them, but they are kind of on the level of animals. And it's one of those things of like, well, yeah, you probably wouldn't need a car because you could just, ride a Pokemon. But by that logic, we'd still be riding horses everywhere. And we don't. I guess it would make transport more accessible to use Pokemon. It's one of those things where, I literally, mentioned it in the, only session of the Pokemon RPG that I ran, in that the NPC, who was basically me, who collected the players from the docks. Funnily enough, they started in Vermilion City. I chose Vermilion to be our starting town. The NPC who came to the docks to collect them, collected them on foot, and literally told them in passing that they were currently trying to get their flying license. So I was like, because my brain was like, well, in this world, you need licenses for everything. You need a driver's license. For heavy goods vehicles, you need a separate license generally. There's forklift licenses, and there's licenses for, aircrafts and boats and things like that. And I was like, so logically, you probably need a license in order to safely navigate with a Pokemon. Yeah, makes sense. That was my thought. I was like, Giovanni is forklift certified. Oh no! Oh no! How will we ever defeat him? Yeah, that was basically my way of being like, how can I... Because, HMs were kind of partially made to, block off areas of the game behind certain tiers. It's tiers of gameplay, essentially. And I was like, well, how do I do that without just literally using HMs and TMs? Because when you're in an RPG like D&D, it kind of doesn't work of being like, oh, you can't go here because you don't have surf. Because you'd kind of just be like, what? Why do I need surf? I have a Blastoise. My Blastoise can swim and is big enough to carry me. Why do I need surf? So I was like, well, I guess the closest thing I could think of would be like, well, you need a permit of some kind. You need people need permits to go fishing in certain waters. Obviously there's international waters, but there's it's like if you have a fishing boat, you have to register that fishing boat with the government of where you're fishing. British fishing boats can't go fish in France, what's classified as France's waters. So that was all I could think of like, you need licenses and you need permits and you need permission in order to do this. So it's like, yeah, you could probably ride your Ponyta, and let's be honest, much like, people do with their parents when they're like 15 or whatever, you probably can just ride your Ponyta around in a field somewhere where nobody is looking. But if you try to ride your ponyta through a town and you are literally 9, you're probably gonna get pulled over and be like, excuse me, you're underage. Right, Gear 5 is now level 70. We're gonna level up someone else. Attitude's almost at 50. We'll get Attitude to 50 and then we're gonna Evente the XP share. I might have to switch Poison Jab. Position-wise, I mean. There was a single episode that featured Cubone, and there was a school working on getting her Pokemon license. Hunting license to get into the Safari Zone. I like that idea. This is the weird thing. Like, well, Pokemon doesn't have hunting. Well, they have poachers, I guess. I don't think I think it's one of those things. It's one of those weird things of, again, like, you try to get too much logic into things that, like, the Pokemon company won't answer. Of, like, the general question of, like, do humans eat Pokemon? And it's like, maybe? Probably? Probably? It's probably not talked about. But probably? Kind of like how, you know, in other countries people eat dogs, you know? It seems weird to us, but it's not weird to them, so it's like, well, probably they do. Probably they do actually eat certain types of Pokemon. That's one of those things where it's the suspension of disbelief. Of, like, if I continued with my game and the question came up, it may be one of those ones where it would have to be just like, you know, I'm not gonna be able to give you a suitable answer. Like the time I had a player lift up a look under a giant's loincloth, and I literally stared at them and I was like, what do you want me to say here? What am I supposed to say? It's surprisingly small. There you go. That's all you're gonna get. like, what do you want? What do you want? Just that awkward moment of like, I don't know what answer you're after here. You know, do you want me to just go, yes, people eat Pokemon? What are you gonna do with that information? You want me to go, no, they don't eat Pokemon. What, so is everybody in this world vegetarian? I don't know, maybe they are. Maybe everybody is vegetarian in the Pokemon world. I don't know. They clearly, like, everybody isn't vegan because they have milk farms with Miltank. So they're clearly fine with consuming milk, much like we're fine with consuming cow's milk. Digimon had the right idea, just grow meat, duh. Yeah, exactly. Although, to be fair, given the technology that Pokemon has, considering Pokemon has literal transportation technology in the terms of the Pokemon PC, they've probably got lab-grown meat, actually. Let's be real, if we've got scientists at the moment actually being able to produce lab-grown meat, by just having cells that just reproduce, then Pokemon probably has lab-grown meat. There you go. That probably is the answer to your question. They probably just have lab-grown meat. And they just synthesize it. Right, we're gonna take from you, and we're gonna give it to you. There you go. That's my new thing for it. Now that I've thought about it, they probably just synthesize it. They have the technology. They just synthesize proteins into meat. Mineral rich, high in vitamins, good for you. Nobody needs to die. I could get all of those meat. I could get all those all meat as vegan if you think about it. What? I didn't realize I had the I could get typed in already. Alright. Fuck you, I'm chewing a Magikarp. You never. I didn't think you liked fish all that much. I'd eat lab-grown meat. I'm gonna throw that out there. I'd eat lab meat.
Love is like a bomb, baby, come on, get it on. Living like a lover with a radar phone. Looking like a tramp, like a
I'd eat it.
demolition woman, can I be your man?
When the technology's there, lab meat, it's probably going to be some of the best damn meat you can get. No gristly bits. Really nice, probably really nice marbling. Lab meat would probably be pretty good. I'll be real. I'd eat it. Excuse me. Yeah. It was kind of fun though. It's, sometimes thinking about that stuff is fun. Like I said, I enjoyed thinking up the concept of like you need licenses for these things. Of like when you get given a HM, it's not that you've been given a HM, you've been given a license. Of like, yeah, you don't need HM fly, your Pidgeot can carry you whenever, but you just don't have the license to fly. You're in, you know, occupied airspace. You need a license. You need to do a test to show that you can be trusted. You need to be trained in air signals in case there's an emergency. What the heck did... What? Sorry, water, come and keep on! Nice! So now we've got Slowbros appearing. It was the wrong move. I'm gonna top Zelda up because she's taken a little bit of damage. It's fun to imagine this stuff. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I've said this before, like, I didn't actually know the word for it for a very long time. But I've always had an interest in, like, creatures and stuff. You know, I considered being a zoologist back when I was in school. First I wanted to be a vet, and then I completely failed at, like, getting all the sciences. Because I dropped out of chemistry, and I was like, well, I can't be a vet if I don't have the 3 sciences. They just straight up. So I was like, okay, well, I need to learn what other jobs there are with animals that isn't being a vet, and I considered zoology for a while, and it was only years later after I completely dropped out of school anyway that I realised that one of the things that I quite like, I like zoology, I also like ecology, which is how animals and things relate to their, like, environment and each other, like the interactions between them. Yeah, ecology is the study of organisms and how they interact with the environment around them. So it's not just the study of animals, but also their environment, which is what I really like. I like with Monster Hunter and stuff, of like, you know, me being like, oh, if you follow an Espinas around, you'll see it hunting poison toads, which is why an Espinas is poisonous, because it ingests these toads and it's like immune to it, and that's why they secrete poison and things like that. Like, I find that interesting. So that's there's an aspect of the Pokemon world that is interesting, of like, well, these creatures exist, so how do they adapt to the world, and how does the world adapt to them, kind of thing. Excuse me a moment, chat. Trying not to slice my finger open again. I get so much dead skin around my fingers, and I don't know if that's because I pick at them too much. But I only pick at my fingers because they have dead skin. Sorry, I'm not picking, I'm like carefully, I'm trying to do it properly with the pair of little scissors I have. I'm trying to snip it off so I don't make myself bleed. There we go. Now it won't catch on anything. That was a lovely thing to come to. Hi, Choco-cha! That's not what we were talking about, I'm sorry. I had an argument with someone yesterday about which is the first Pokemon, Rhydon, Bulbasaur, Mew, or Arceus. Yep, that's a meme that I've seen circling the internet several times. The idea of Ash's Greninja would mean that every Pokemon had a strong connection to their trainer, so we would have like a Brock Onyx. Yeah, I quite like that. I think I saw an artist actually doing renditions of that. Oh, there's the tick over to 5 o'clock. Suddenly we've got the orange filter on the game. But yeah, I just think it's interesting. What's also interesting is the fact that these boats are trapped in this cove. Did they not want to make like a sprite for like a little gate or something, or like a dock? How do these boats get out? Or do they have like a Dragonite lift the boat? Yeah, these boats are just kind of stuck here, huh? They use Pokemon to lift them with water. Yeah, that's kind of what I was like. They must use Pokemon in some way because they're trapped in here. That's another idea that I actually kind of like, is the working Pokemon. Like we've seen that you get like police dog Growlithe and Arcanine. Like I loved the Detective Pikachu movie. The Detective Pikachu movie of actually showing a more realistic world setting with Pokemon working in them. That was great. I loved it. $42. Let's go. I don't need some random Gyarados coming into the harbour and smashing up the place. This is true. This is why Pokemon Ranger as a profession exists. But I've said before, Pokemon Ranger games, I really liked them. I believe the NPC me that I made for that Pokemon game, actually, I gave them the class Pokemon Ranger because I like the concept of like they're like park rangers in a way, of like they look after the wild Pokemon. So they're the kind of people that you would call in if there is literally, you would call them in as like an emergency service almost, to be like, there's this Pokemon here and it's really distressed, it shouldn't be here, it's been displaced by a freak weather accident. A Pokemon Ranger comes in and like safely relocates them. The Pokemon Ranger games were great, but they are so specific to the DS. I don't know how they would remake them or make, well, not remake them. I don't know how they would do like another, like a sequel or something, because we spent like an hour talking about our feeling about remakes. I don't know how they would make another Ranger game, because the mechanics are so specific to the DS. Yeah, the Switch has touchscreen, but it's not meant to be used in the same way that the DS was. And, like, if you tried to do it with a controller, Lord knows you'd end up breaking that controller very rapidly. So that's one of those things where it's probably had a line drawn under it of you know, it's a trilogy, there are 3 Ranger games. That's your lot. Why didn't I use Ice Beam on the dragon? That would have been sensible. Pokemon Ranger is probably one of those ones where they've drawn a line under it and just been like, we're done with that one. 3 games, that's your lot. But like the concept of a Pokemon Ranger, a person, I think they could definitely use again. Maybe maybe that's the Zoo Tycoon game. Pokemon Ranger, but it's Zoo Tycoon. You're just a park ranger actually looking at... Oh no, it's Pokemon Safari Zone. That's what the game needs to be. Pokemon Safari Zone is the name of the game, and it's just Zoo Tycoon Pokemon, and you're playing as a park ranger. They're an Arceus in Pallet Town? Why the fuck is there an Arceus just being around somebody? Call a ranger and some priests. Yeah, if I think when it's legendaries, that's not necessarily Pokemon Ranger territory. Actually, that's a fib, because literally the end game of Pokemon Ranger is go deal with legendaries. So that's a fib. It's a bit like Monster Hunter, I think. It'd be Monster Hunter scenario, where you're playing as the protagonist, so you can do it, but in the lore of the game, you're like a 1 in a million of like, oh, no, normal Pokemon Rangers, you know, deal with angry Zigzagoons, you know? But there's like a once in a blue moon, really amazing ranger who can deal with legendaries. And that's you, the protagonist. You're learning Bice? I mean, I guess Bice is better than Light Screen. Whoa, yeah. Lift off, the firestorm ignites. Last thoughts of a life by candlelight. Inside, streaming satellite. Halfway between the black and grays, no place for life to waste away. I'll take the road without mistakes. Arcanine pants. What? I mean, maybe if he's tired, he is a dog. Great Starlight Brigade. 100% real talk. Pokemon Rangers would spend most of their days cleaning up infestations of Pokemon that have been bred and then released into the wrong environment. Oh, 100%. 100% is probably what the bulk of Pokemon Rangers deal with. It's like how, like, your average everyday, like, small town police officer probably only deals with, like, you know, disputes over the neighbor's hedges getting too big. You know, and they never actually have to deal with anything major. And I think in the Pokemon Ranger games, you literally have, like, a teammate who is that, because obviously you're the super special protagonist who's, like, super good, and you literally have a teammate who's like, I helped wrangle a group of Psyduck that were in somebody's path. That was what I did today, and it's like, good job, buddy, good job. You did amazing. Like you said about the Rangers, I never played the games, but I saw the spin-off. Yeah. Yeah, they had a Pokemon Ranger appear in the Manaphy movie, and I think that was literally tied into the fact that Pokemon Ranger, the spin-off, was around the same time to try and promote it. So there is a Pokemon Ranger who functions like a ranger in the movie, because Pokemon Rangers don't use Pokeballs, they use a different device that they have. It doesn't capture Pokemon, it, like, calms them down, kind of, and just makes them friendly. But it doesn't catch them, and the ranger, like, releases them after, because he's just like, because, you know, it's part of the environmental balance of, like, we get help and then we let them go home. They go home to where they need to go. You could argue the most useful members of sorry, the chat, like, moved and I, like, lost my place. You mentioned Pokemon Rangers kind of being like Monster Hunter, so Arcanine pants. No! no! I said like Monster Hunter because there's 1 in a million. I said like Monster Hunter because in Monster Hunter you, the player, are capable of taking down Elder Dragons, but in the lore that is not a very common thing. A regular run-of-the-mill hunter cannot take down an Elder Dragon. So you could argue the most useful members of Poker Society, oh god, the episodes where there was a ranger, you spent at least 5 minutes watching her say you and spinning. So many spinning. I definitely thought it was meant for kids, that bit, and not for older gens. Yeah, maybe, yeah. A delibird. Oh, damn, it's 10:05. Whoops. Whoops! Okay, we overran. It's time to wrap up for the day. We've done a 3-hour stream. We spent 1 hour getting over to Pewter City and getting our butt absolutely handed to us by Brock. We didn't TPK, thankfully. You literally commented that, oh, it's past 5. I have undiagnosed ADHD. I was really enjoying the topic of conversation, so I didn't want to stop it. That's why. Yeah. It is what it is. I have more conversations I could talk about. I had a D&D dream last night. Didn't even bring that up, and guess now I'm not going to. So have fun. Right. Let's put the controller down. Okay. Time is fake. You are correct. Time is fake. I'm just gonna end it. That's subject of discussion for Tuesday. Maybe, or maybe not. I have a bad memory. Ha 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 ha. It might never get talked about. Wow. Right. Have a good Sunday, everybody. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm gonna go make dinner to start with. Maybe I'll do some off-screen grinding, but, you know, it's always 50-50 whether I do actually get to do that, because it's a Sunday, and I might want to go do my own thing. You know, I might take advantage of the Final Fantasy game time we got given before it all runs out. I might play with dinosaurs, or Digimon, but wait, through that sentence. Whatever. Don't matter. Right. I will see you tomorrow. For probably more game sprites. I need to talk with Chaotix is what I need to do. So tune in for that to find out whatever that is. Yeah, you take care, everybody. Wow, look at the schedule. I actually updated it for once. Ha 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 ha. I actually updated the schedule for once. Woo! Right, see you. Take care. I love you all so much. Thank you very much, everyone who subscribed. Thank you, Das, for the tier 3 especially. Mwah, that means a lot. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. It was a dream about Delmara.